We're going to take a look at a commercial or civilian MRE. This one is from A-Pack Ready Meal, self-heating emergency meal. This is Creamy Chicken Tetrazzini. This one is distributed by Ameriqual, and that's one of the 3 contractors that makes genuine MREs for the US government. You'll discover that most of the stuff in here is the same as you find in a genuine MRE. This one has a date code of 9215, meaning it was packaged on the 215th day of 2009. And one thing that's interesting about that is I checked on MREinfo.com, and Chicken Tetrazzini was an entree in genuine MREs, but only from 2000 to 2005. So this is a case where one of the companies that packages the MREs continued to make one of the entrees even though it wasn't required for the genuine MREs, and they just use it in their own commercial version. And I'm kind of looking forward to this because I've never had the Chicken Tetrazzini before. So the A-Pack meal comes in one of these flimsy plastic bags, and if you might recognize this because a lot of genuine MREs, which come in these tougher bags here, a lot of times these will actually have a bag exactly like this inside, so it's sort of doubly packed. So apparently Ameriqual just went ahead and took the inner packaging and made that their outer packaging. And they've also included an information sheet, which is actually pretty handy. Not only does it tell you the main menu, which a lot of times MREs with clear packaging will just have the main entree on one side so you can see it. In this case you can't, so it's obviously helpful to know what it is. It also gives you all the components and the ingredients, and this is something I like because most of the packaging does have nutritional information on it. This actually has the nutritional facts for the entire meal, so you don't have to add it up. This one has 1,330 calories, 88% of your total fat for the day. Not a heck of a lot of cholesterol, 43% of sodium, 57% of carbohydrates, and 40% of fiber for those that say that MREs only stop you up. This one apparently is one that might do the opposite. Not only have I not had the Chicken Tetrazzini before, I've never really had an A-Pack meal before. I did use one in my recent MRE drop test video, but that was just as a control subject. So I did see what was inside of it, but it was kind of smashed by the time I opened it up. So this will be a first in 2 ways. Let's go ahead and see what's in here. Your information sheet, of course. Here's the Creamy Chicken Tetrazzini. You have an oatmeal cookie, Osmotic Raisins, crackers, peanut butter, some plain M&Ms, flameless ration heater. This appears to be a standard flameless ration heater, but A-Pack has its own printing on it, its own graphics. And even the date code down here, the 83rd day of 2009, and also has A-Pack. Pretty proprietary. We have a white spoon, pretty substantial. This is something very different from what you'd find in a standard MRE or a genuine MRE. It's a small package of salt water. I don't know if these flameless ration heaters are different from the regular ones, because the normal ones you just add water, it doesn't have to be salt water. Everything else seems to be the same. I don't know, I'm almost wondering if it's just because they don't want somebody to drink this, so they made it salt water instead of regular water. But I really don't know. I've never had to add salt water to a regular flameless ration heater. But it's convenient. You don't have to worry about using your drinking water. Here's a small beverage-based lemonade, the kind that you can add to a bottle of water, and that's the instruction right here. It says to add to a 20-ounce bottled water. And instead of an accessory kit, apparently, all we have for accessories are a moist towelette and some pepper. most accessory kits, even the commercial ones, will at least have salt and pepper. They usually have coffee, creamer, and sugar, and napkin. And there's even more in a genuine MRE, but apparently this is all they deemed necessary for this one. So there does appear to be a little bit less than you'd find in a genuine MRE. Usually you would expect to see a side dish in addition to the main entree. But at the same time, looking back at 2005, the last year that Chicken Tetrazzini was part of the genuine MRE line, you can see it really wasn't that big of an MRE itself. Alright, now we'll go ahead and heat up the Chicken Tetrazzini. This will be my first time using an A-Pack flameless ration heater. And I had pretty much assumed it was exactly the same as the standard genuine MRE FRH. But it does look like there is some slight differences. In addition to the fact that you use salt water, I noticed that in the instructions there is no indication of a rock or something. And as it turns out, you actually leave this one flat. You don't put it on an incline. Other than that, it seems to be about the same. Tear open the top. Oh, I didn't see that. This must be pretty much standard front. In the back, on the genuine ones, a lot of times they'll have either information for the soldiers or a blank postcard or something like that. So I guess A-Pack decided to customize the packaging for themselves. Actually, kind of a nice touch too. Oh, and look at this. You have a silver retort pouch instead of the standard green one. I guess this must be because of the fact that they're not made for the genuine MREs anymore. So there's no need to have them in the more tactical color. This flameless ration heater does still have the heating element. I don't know if it's any different or not, but that's in there. And we're going to put the entree on top of the heating element. Slide it all the way down. And we'll put in the salt water. Fold the top over. Slide it back into the carton. Wow, this is getting hot pretty quick. This heater is 5 years old, and most flameless ration heaters aren't expected to last more than 5 years, so the fact that it's already getting hot is a pretty good sign. And you can hear that, I think you can hear that. I'm going to leave this flat, give that about 10-15 minutes, and we'll check out what else we have in the meal. You can see, I'm guessing as a result of being lying flat, the steam is escaping out of the, we folded it over, that's about where that was. I don't think it's actually leaking or anything. Oh, maybe it is, I don't know. There's the raisins. Keep in mind these are 5 years old. This was packaged in 2009. And the raisins still seem to be relatively fresh. A little bit of a clump here. The oatmeal cookie. And it's still intact. Regular crackers. They seem to be sealed pretty well. Nice tight seal around there. Listen to the little hiss. There it is. And some peanut butter. We'll knead this up. You know, the oil mixed with everything. See how the 5-year-old M&Ms are holding up. Those seem to look fine. Shells aren't cracked or anything. The lemonade beverage base. Add it to a bottle of water. A little notch here. And the only thing left is the entree. The top is hot, still feels like it's heated pretty good all the way through. This does have the second set of notches, so you can get the pouch out a little bit easier. You need this around a little bit just to get the heat distributed pretty evenly. It does feel like it's pretty hot though. And there's the chicken tetrazzini. It smells like most of the MRE chicken dishes. Kind of has a processed chicken sort of a smell. It's very similar to the chicken with noodles and the chicken with dumplings, and I'm thinking the ingredients are all pretty similar too. The chicken tetrazzini, in addition to chicken and pasta, also has cheddar cheese powder, dehydrated onion, dehydrated green bell pepper, chicken broth, and a few other things. Alright, let's go ahead and try this out. So we get some chicken there, we get the pasta. Peppers and onions, not too much, not a heck of a lot in there. As far as vegetables, it's all dehydrated stuff that's been reconstituted. Now let's try it out. It's okay. It's not. It's actually a little bit on the bland side. I guess what it kind of reminds me most of is like a tuna casserole kind of thing. I guess you could make the same thing with chicken and it would be like this, but it's like yeah, like a tuna casserole, tuna noodle casserole. And it is surprisingly bland. Pasta doesn't seem to be too bad. A little on the mushy side. One of the things that's surprising about a lot of MRE entrees is that despite the amount of sodium, you really expect this to be really salty. It tastes to me like this could use some salt. I think that'd be my biggest complaint. Chicken's okay, it's in these little chunks. Yeah, I'm sure somebody who had this in a regular MRE would go ahead and add some salt, or if you're lucky enough to have hot sauce, that would do a trick on it too. Since this one actually didn't have any salt, I'm not going to put any on, but we'll try a little pepper. See if that spices it up a little bit. It's quite a bit of pepper. Yeah, I think this is a... There's a big mushroom here. I actually didn't see that in the ingredients. It snuck in there. Oh yeah, there's mushrooms. It is in there, but just didn't see it. Yeah, I'm sort of surprised I don't like this more. It's just kind of like my kind of a thing. But the blandness just doesn't really work that well. Definitely needs salt. I think when I'm done filming, before I finish it, I'll add some salt to it. I don't hate it, but I guess I can see why it was phased out after 2005. Might just not have been enough flavor for everyone. Let's try out these 5-year-old raisins here. I hate to say, they actually smell a little bit almost musty. Yeah, it's not really a fresh raisin kind of a smell. Mmm. Tastes a little bit off. And kind of gritty and crunchy. I have sort of a metallic, plasticky kind of aftertaste, which I can only guess is from the packaging. This is surprisingly not good. I'm gonna pass on eating any more of those. Something doesn't seem quite right about them. Peanut butter, I think, is gonna hold up pretty well after 5 years. Yeah, that's fine. These crackers last a good long time, as long as the seal is good. The oatmeal cookie. It's good. These cookies tend to be pretty crunchy. It's not like a soft oatmeal cookie. Well, the bottom is still kind of on the moist side. Well, considering. And it tastes good. It's not overly sweet. And it tastes like an oatmeal cookie. Nothing spectacular, but it's fine. And the M&Ms. Those are good. There'll be a slight degradation over time, but I'd definitely eat them. A lemonade beverage. It's pretty good. You know, I actually went a little light on the water. It said 20 ounces. I went more like 16, 17 because I usually like a little more flavor in my drinks. And this one has quite a bit of lemon flavor to it. Maybe I could have gone with a 20. It's good stuff though. So that was a look at an A-Pack ready meal, creamy chicken tetrazzini. Well, that was pretty good. Salt was a big help with the chicken tetrazzini. Between the salt and the pepper, it was quite a bit better. One thing I left over was the mushrooms. Not a big mushroom fan. And yeah, I didn't go any further with the raisins. There was something about them that it didn't. They weren't pleasant. I don't think there's anything wrong. I don't think they make you sick. I don't really know, but they weren't very pleasant to eat, so I skipped those. And that oatmeal cookie was actually better than I had reported. It was very tasty.